Hello and welcome to Shanghai, an ancient and historic city with a cosmopolitan outlook and an energy typical of urban China. You join us on the final day of the 2015 Buick Championship at the Shanghai Qizhong Garden Golf Club. The golf course is a par 72 with undulating fairways and greens in perfect condition. Leading the European Challenge is Marianne Skarpnord, the experienced Norwegian who's a three-time winner on the tour. At 27, Hyun-So Kang of Korea is entering her golfing prime. She's played plenty of times in China and is well used to the conditions. But there's no doubting the star of the show. Shan Shenfeng is China's #1, and as she showed in Dubai at the end of last year, she's calm, she's consistent, and she's world class. 19-year-old Xiu Lin is establishing herself on the global stage. She's already inside the world's top 100, but after a first round 66, she fell away despite some impressive recovery work. Skarpnord already has a victory in Australia this season under her belt. She's been a model of consistency here in Shanghai, and she's well placed to mount a challenge for the title. Kang shot a 67 on day 2, and she held her form going into the weekend. A hot putter and some superb approach play kept her in contention heading into the final round. China's Shan Shenfeng showed why she's #5 in the world. She went low in the first round and backed it up on the Friday. It matters not whether it's from the fairway, from the fringe, or from the sand. She always gets it close and lets her putter do the rest. This is how it stood at the end of day 3. Shan Shenfeng with a commanding 7-shot lead. Kang and Skarpnord head the chase, and Nicole Brock-Larsen has given herself a chance after a superb 65. My name is Nigel Bidmead, and alongside me in the commentary booth is ladies European Tour player Alison Whittaker. There's some money on offer.
There is. I believe that has something to do with professional golf.
First prize is $82,500 US. And as you can see, plenty of other prize money to play for. So what have we got to look forward to on this final day?
Well, I think we're going to see some interesting golf on the back nine. There's some tricky little pin positions, and as you can see, the wind's getting up a little bit, starting to see more gusty conditions out there, and the greens are also a little bit faster, so it's going to lead to some hopefully made putts, but also some interesting short game shots.
This is the order of merit, and Marianne Skarpnord looking to move up the order of merit, led by Gladys Nacera after her win in Morocco. So it is still early in the season and plenty to play for. Let's catch up with some of the early play. This is Hyun-So Kang, who began 8 under. This is her approach to the 5th. And she was to make birdie, having made birdie, by the way, on the first and second holes. Great start for the Korean. And Nicole Brock-Larsen, well, she really has found her form. She too made birdies on the first and second, and again here at the 5th. On the 4th, our leader Shan Shenfeng. This was her approach. Great use of the bank. Despite a double bogey at the first, she was to pick up a shot here. And it goes for birdie. She then had another chance on the 5th hole. This was for a birdie from distance, but she had to settle for par. Two bogeys and 3 birdies on her front 9 so far. And this is as it stands. Feng's lead has been cut to 5. Superb play from Brock Larson and Kang. Are they within striking distance?
I believe so. There's going to be, as I said earlier, some interesting golf on the back nine. There's going to be bogeys made, birdies made, maybe even an eagle or two if we're lucky. And I think it's really important just for those girls in the chasing pack to keep that in mind.
Should mention also Amy Bolden going extremely well, playing some great golf. She had a really good day yesterday. Not quite so good for her playing partner Charlie Hull. Not quite matching the Welsh ladies' form. But here we are live, and this is our leader, Shan Feng. Interesting trousers.
I kind of like them. I've seen a lot of flowers out there on the golf course. It's in such great condition out here. The flower beds are stunning.
We're on the 9th, and this is her approach. Pin is cut back left today. Well, that could have gone anywhere. She didn't miss by much. Again, she was trying to use that bank to draw the ball round.
She's been very crafty on the front nine. I watched the first 6 holes of her play, and she was using the slopes around the pin to perfection, just really thinking about how much spin she was going to get on each shot and how the wind was going to affect it. It was very impressive to watch.
Now here's Kang up ahead on the 10th, joint second with Nicole Brock Larson. 3 birdies and a bogey on her front 9. Here's Charlie Hull. 1 under for the tournament. This is her tee shot on 11.
Ooh.
Well, I think that sets up a birdie opportunity for Charlie Hull.
She made that shot look easy.
So, this is one of the amateurs that are playing with the professionals. They're in a team event with the professional. They're also playing an individual event, which is a Stableford off scratch. So we may see 1 or 2 shots from the amateurs. And Shan Feng said in her interview last night how much she enjoyed playing with the amateurs, but they made her nervous too.
It's funny to think, isn't it, that someone who seems so in control of her own game can be a little bit vibed by having some amateurs out there. But she said she settled down after a few holes, and obviously it didn't seem to bother her too much. 3 under yesterday.
That could have very easily disappeared down that slope, and that would be a very difficult chip. But as it is, it's stayed up near the pin. She's going to go with the putter. Mercer, her caddy, trying to read the line.
It's quite an uncharacteristic miss for Shan, because in particular with her wedges, she rarely, pitches the ball outside 10 feet of the hole. And perhaps maybe, giving the wind a little bit too much credit there, or planning for, as you said earlier, some spin back towards the hole.
You can see the reeds moving in the wind. It really was an issue on the Friday, and poor old Stacey Keating bore the brunt of it, having set a course record on the Thursday. This is for birdie for Feng. She'll have that for par.
Yeah, very well judged there by Feng. It's sometimes hard to predict what that the fringe is going to do to the ball, and she seemed in complete control.
Amy Bolden on the 11th tee. She's been going really well. Four under for the day, and that's another wonderful shot.
Wow, just peppering the flag there. You could almost throw a towel over those two.
This is Skarpnord. 3 over for the day. I mentioned that she'd been so consistent in the first 3 rounds, but this one's just getting away from her a little bit.
Yeah, she missed 2 shots left of the green on the front 9, and I'm wondering if that's perhaps, you know, something, a little niggle that she's feeling with her swing. She managed to make up and down in both instances, but perhaps trying to fight a little something going on there.
She's left that a little bit short. And we saw yesterday that she had a number of opportunities and just couldn't get it going with the putter. Well, par for Skarpnord. Stays at 5 under for the tournament. I think she would have woken up this morning thinking, I need a good start here if I'm going to challenge.
And sometimes that's hard to do because you find yourself trying too hard to make birdies rather than letting it happen.
Danish flag of Nicole Brock-Larsen, and the hand came off the club there. Well, she's missed the fairway, but the lie looks okay.
She'll actually have quite a good angle into the pin from there. The pin's back left on 10, and she'll have a lot of green to work with. So if there is a miss, that'll be the spot to do.
Michai of Thailand, she's enjoying herself. 6 under for the day, 8 under for the tournament. She's 5th, all alone. She's got that for birdie. That was fun for par. So good up and down from the fringe. And unlike a fun, but she's a little bit wild, isn't it? Starting with a double bogey. She had a bogey on the 6th as well. I mean, 3 birdies in there, but is that possibly some hope for the rest of the field?
I think so. I personally wasn't expecting her to start with a double. I mean, you never really are with someone that's starting the day at 15 under. But on the second hole, she hit it to 8 feet and just missed the putt. On the third, she hit it to a foot. So, you know, she corrected whatever was going on pretty quickly.
She did make a bogey on the first yesterday, and then ended with a bogey on 18. So here's Kang, joint second with Brock-Larsen.
See the pin flapping in the back left there. Those bunkers in front of the pin are actually quite deep, and something that the girls will factor in the line that they take. Oh,
she's judged that beautifully. She needs to hold.
Great golf shot.
She'll come back and she'll have a flattish putt from there. It does look a little bit downhill. An opportunity for Kang to take possession of second place all on her own. Shan Shanfeng leads by 5 shots as she makes the turn. Brock-Larsen and Kang leading the chase. Amy Bolden, 4 under for the day, 9 under for the tournament. Wichini Michai, 6 under for the day. That's a superb round she's got going there. Pei Yun Chan from Chinese Taipei, 5 under for the tournament, 3 under for the day. She had a rough time yesterday after 2 good early rounds. Florentina Parker hanging on in there, 2 under. Charlie Hull, 4 over for the day. Still 1 under for the tournament. Maria Balakueva of Russia going the wrong way. She had a good round yesterday. Not much red on that part of the leaderboard. Now, after that wonderful tee shot from Amy Bolden, this is for birdie at 11. She's got another one. She moves to 10 under par.
Tell you what, when Amy start striking the ball well and putting well. She is just a streaky player.
Is her 6th birdie. Birdies on 8 and 9, a par on 10, and now another birdie on 11 for Bolden. So she's in the mood. This is Scott Nord. On 10. Playing with the leader, Shan Feng. It's wind against, isn't it, on this hole?
Yeah, it'll be into off the left for the girls on the 10th tee, and there is a set of bunkers over on the right, which the wind will be pushing the ball back towards. So it's a great shot there from Mariana.
Water down the left as well. Hole for birdie. Well, that was a sensational tee shot from Charlie Hull and repairs some of the damage from her front 9. Back on the 10th tee. Her amateur partner having just teed off, and now it is Feng's turn.
She just seems so measured on the tee. Her pre-shot routine is the same every single time. She looks at ball, target, walks up to it and strikes it. It's super consistent.
I think it's the word you used yesterday, repeatable. And every time you see it, there's just no difference, is there? And she did miss 1 or 2 fairways yesterday, but she got herself out of trouble so well. Is that the key to her game, is putting it on the fairway?
Very much so. It's fairways, greens, putts. Then it sounds much more simpler than it is to do.
This is the 10th green. Kang in blue and Brock Larson in white. This is a birdie putt for Kang. So these two matching each other stride for stride and shot for shot. This would take her to 11 under. And within 4 of our leader, Feng. Playing her 4th tournament of the season, the 27-year-old Korean. As I mentioned at the top of the show, spent plenty of time in China, which helps. And she's set for one of the best finishes of her career. And here she is for birdie on 11. Or rather 10. This is to go 11 under. Nice roll. Tap that in for par. So par for Kang.
Both the players here have given themselves a really good shot at birdie, somehow managing to find the small portion of green that's to the left of the pin, which gives them both an uphill putt back towards the flag.
Second round, 74. They're behind the 8 ball, Nicole Brock Larson, but great round yesterday at 65. And that's another good putt, but she too will have to settle for par, and she too will stay on 10 under through 10 holes. 22 next week, Nicole Brock Larson. getting younger, aren't they, Alison?
They are, and I think she's nearly 6 foot tall, actually, so you wouldn't guess her age by looking at her, but she is such an incredible ball striker. I remember playing with her in Morocco last year, and I said, this girl's going to be good. And sure enough, I think she finished third in the Rookie of the Year last year.
Yeah, just missed out, doesn't she? Yes.
And yeah, but after playing with her, I would have pegged her for number one. Obviously, Amy Bolden just having such a standout rookie year was very hard to match.
Top 5 in Dubai for Brock Larson. Now, Chai's got a great round going. This is for birdie. Didn't get the line quite right there. She had that for par.
There's so many tiers on that back portion of 18. There's a lot of slope for the girls to factor in from every direction, actually. So green reading out here is going to be tricky on this back nine.
Did you have a look around the course this morning?
I did, yeah. I had a look at the greens on the back nine in particular, just to get a feel for where the misses are and the good chances at birdie. And birdies will be made, as I said. There's some attackable pins, but there's some cheeky pins out there as well.
That's one word for them. That's one of the amateurs playing up the 10th fairway. Playing over the average, isn't it? So I think that may be something to do with the wind, because when I stood on the 10th tee the other day on the Friday when it was blowing right in my face. It's slightly off from the left today, so
yeah, it's mainly an easterly wind, which is similar to the other days. It's just shifting a little bit from northeast to southeast every now and then, and with that, obviously with the wind off the left and the pin on the left, it's one of the hardest shots in the game to commit to a line on that kind of thing when you've got such deep bunkers defending the pin position today, right in front of the pin. The girls have to carry it 28 yards to carry those bunkers, and I think they've got about 6 between the bunker and the flag.
Mariana Skarpnord, 2 wins in 2009 and won her 3rd title in South Africa a couple of years ago at a tournament that we talked about that was shortened because of the terrible weather. It just didn't stop raining. But won in Victoria in Australia earlier this year, so she's got a bit of form, and she was very consistent in the first 3 rounds, but just got away from her in this final round. She's 3 over. Let's go to the 11th. Just saw birdies from Bolden and Hull. And here's Brock Larson.
She doesn't look happy with this one. Perhaps, just leaking it out to the front right a little bit. It won't be a terrible bunker shot for her from there if she is in that front bunker, but obviously not what you're looking for from a short iron.
Chai on 18. Oh. That was for a 66. But it's a 67 for Wichanai Chai of Thailand. 7 under for the tournament. More than respectable. Very tidy final round from the Thai. On the 11th, here's Kang. She just turned away. Misdirected a little bit, that one.
Just pulling it slightly. She'll have an interesting putt from there, down one ridge and over the next. And it's what we're going to see a lot more of on the back nine.
There's been a lot of thought gone into this shot. We've taken a long time assessing the wind. assessing whether to go for the pin. She's decided she's going to, and she got it right. Come on. Not moving.
That was very unlucky. These greens are getting so quick, and you know, if you land the ball on the slope, it generally comes off the slope. I think she just caught at the edge of the fringe there. You can see she can't believe it herself.
She hit a great shot, didn't she?
And that's what you have to say to yourself walking away. Did I, you know, achieve what I was trying to do? Yes, I did. The green didn't do what I was expecting, and you know, you can't be too hard on yourself in that situation.
Here's our leader. What will Fung have learnt from Skarpnord's approach? This is her second shot. To the 10th green. It's going to come back. Well, that's what Skarpnord was trying to do. Look at that.
It's getting better by the second, isn't it?
Well, you could say she's a bit luckier than Skarpnord, but she's played it beautifully.
It's a game of inches, isn't it?
Charlie Hull on the 12th. This is her second shot, and I think you don't need to be an expert to read the body language. She's left it short and right. I think this is part of the learning curve, isn't it, for players like Charlie. You know, you're going to have days when it just doesn't happen for you.
Very much so, and that, as you said, is part of the learning process, because you have to work out what works for you under pressure, what doesn't work, how to get yourself back in a good frame of mind, because there's still plenty of holes left. If, you know, she makes a few birdies coming down the stretch, she'll be in a much better position.
Skarpnord. Now, is that Marianne's ball? Did it come back from the fringe?
Well, she's marked it and handed it to a caddy, so maybe maybe it came down after all. After it seemed to have come to a complete stop at the top there.
Here's the future generation. Oh, he's missed. Yes, I've got a couple of lads like that. They can't hit the ball either. It's not easy. With just a little bit of instruction on grit.
Isn't it great, though, just seeing how many kids are out this week? I saw.
He only needs to hit one and he'll keep coming back.
There we go.
Super shot.
Look at that smile.
And a little putting lesson. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go!
Look at the fist pump. Oh, star of tomorrow there, I think.
And it's a very good reason to bring your children to golf events. You know, you can experience what it's like to swing a golf club and make a putt.
Absolutely. I saw so many fathers in particular out with their young sons and daughters out there this morning, and there are lots of kids and they're getting involved and they're actually watching the golf. I think they are enjoying themselves.
The head of Nicole Brock-Larsen, and that's skidded on through. Well, I think she was hoping to use the bank to bring that round, but it's come out really hot, and she's got an awkward chip to come.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that might have been plugged. Often happens with short iron tee shots. When you hit into the bunker, you have so much spin, and the ball just nestles down into the sand.
Buries itself, yes. Hull, this is her third. She's played it beautifully. She'll have that for par, having left her approach shot just a touch short. Now, Skarpnord, as we suggested, the ball did roll down there. It took its time, didn't it?
It did. I reckon it gave her a scare, because that, as you can see, you know, that ball's rolled probably 30 feet down the hill.
It
It would have been
certainly has.
treacherously fast from up
Yes.
there.
Yes. We were a bit worried when she picked it up, thinking that maybe that wasn't her ball, but in the end it was a good shot. It was a lovely strike, and she's got her reward, which is a birdie opportunity. Well, not for the first time this weekend. I think we know what part of the game she's going to be working on next week.
Yeah, very much so. But she has been putting very well in 2015. It's something that all of the players that are friends with her have noticed and mentioned, and aren't surprised by her being in contention this week in particular.
Kang for birdie on the 11th. Is to go within 4 shots of the leader. It's coming down the hill. It's coming. It's a good putt, but she'll have to settle for par. Now, Fung for birdie. The lead is 6 shots. It's the 4th birdie of her round. More distance between the leader and the rest of the field. Shan Fung leads by 6 from Nicole Brock-Larsen, Amy Bolden and Hyun Seo Kang. Terrific round of golf from Amy Bolden, putting her up near the top of the leaderboard. Who else catches your eye there, Alison?
I actually really love watching Pamela Pratsville play. She's a Scottish girl and she's absolutely lovely, and she made her way onto the main tour through the LET Access Tour, and just such a joy to be around.
Now, this is for bogey. Brock-Larsen. Well, that's going to drop her back. First blemish of the round for the young Dane. It's actually a double bogey. So she goes back to 8 under par. Oh, and that putter swung away from the hole. That's going to be awkward for Amy Bolden. So trials and tribulations for the chasing pack.
Absolutely. I think, these greens are quite large and they're very undulating. And, as you saw Nicole on the last hole, she would have had perhaps a 9-iron in hand. She's quite a long hitter and she's walked away with a double bogey, and that's just what the girls are facing out there. There's tricky pins and, the wind blowing into their faces on the 11th there, and it's pretty hard to judge.
Well, we asked Shan Fung last night in the interview about the wind that was forecast for today. No problem, she says.
It didn't seem to bother it at all, did it?
No, not at all. There must be something that faces her on the golf course, but we've yet to see it. She is the world number 5, and a victory here would, in all probability, move her up to 4th in the world.
Sit. Sit. Sit.
Well, not quite up to the Fung standard, but
I think you're in the zone when you hit a bad shot and it still finds the middle of the green.
Yeah.
It's not the ideal spot there. She will have a tricky putt, but having said that, there are definitely worse places to be.
par for Bolden. So she's going to drop a shot on the 12th, having made birdie on 11.
Nice off.
Nice and steady from Kang.
Just such beautiful balance she has through a golf swing. When she's hitting it well, she's got fantastic tempo, and she just looks as though her body all finishes in one go, and that's, you know, what you want from an ideal balanced golf swing.
Is balance the key? Because sometimes you see players swing quite fast, but they seem to have tempo.
Yeah, it's true, and I think the main thing you want to do is have, you know, your big muscles control the swing and have, you know, your upper body and your lower body coming through the shot at the same time.
Scott Nord on 11. The par 3. She has a very upright stance. And it's a lovely shot, right on target. And a birdie opportunity for the Norwegian. She needs something to get going. Holden for bogey. She makes it. Second bogey of the round, having bogeyed the third. Nicole Brock-Larsen looking to repair the damage of a double bogey on the previous hole, and she smoked one right down the middle. She averages about 261 yards. I was a bit surprised. I thought it might be a bit further.
Well, I don't want to make it sound bad, but sometimes you've got to be on the fairway for it to count. And,
Yeah, no,
you know, with long
absolutely.
hitters, sometimes you know, you can be in the first cut of the rough, and,
Yeah,
and
which
it
is
doesn't
still-
count.
which is still
towards
pretty
it. Could be
good.
300 yards. Yeah.
Hole for par. Stays at 2 under. She's another one who thought, well, I might be able to do something here after yesterday's round, but nothing doing here in Shanghai. Another overcast day. It's cool, isn't it? But just a little bit windy. Oh, that's one of the amateurs. Don't panic. Scott Nord in the foreground after her lovely tee shot. Just repairing the pitch mark. She's looking around to see who's got to play. She knows exactly where Fung is. She is just off to the right of your screen. So I think one of the amateurs is going to play first. I think you can't see him. Was that hole from the fairway with driver?
I think that was driver off the deck, and she's hit it well. She's got to the front left of the green there, and
Not a bad result.
she's going to have a bit of a tricky up and down from there over a ridge if she's got a direct line at the pin at all.
She perhaps taking the opportunity to experiment a little bit and not have a bit of fun, but see what works. I mean, she's got to chase it, hasn't she?
That's so true. And she's not the type of girl to just sit back and let it slip by either. She's
Which makes her so watchable.
exactly, yeah, a very aggressive player by nature.
Yes. Well, that gives you a good idea of the slopes on these greens.
This putt in particular will really depend on pace. She has to hit up over one tier, which will then drift down to the right, and it could really get away from her quite easily. The grain out there today, the greens, seems to be you know, a little bit more exaggerated, and you see a lot of the girls hitting their putts, 2-3 feet past the hole where they thought it was going to finish.
What conditions makes the grain more apparent?
I think it's just the style of grass. It's generally a thicker blade grass. Grasses like Bermuda and a couple of coarser grain grasses that grow better in warmer conditions.
Well, this is tricky. Fung for birdie. She's left herself plenty to do there. Well, clearly she was apprehensive about overcooking that, and she's undercooked it.
And that putt probably only needed another 2 feet and it would have been down by the hole. It's quite a severe slope there.
Rock Larson eyeing up the 12th green. Excellent drive. The 21-year-old.
Such a beautiful swing there from Nicole. She is just such an exquisite ball striker, and that is the place to be for that whole position. It won't move much from there, and
I
straight
like
back
it.
up the hill.
She made double bogey on the previous hole, and it hasn't phased her. Back to her A game. It shows a good temperament. An old head on young shoulders. So she's got her regular caddy back.
Yeah, Ben Brewer.
Yeah.
And he's a great bloke, and he'll keep her very calm and grounded. He's got a great sense of humour.
Scupnord for birdie. When your putter goes cold, there's not much you can do. The rest of her game is in really good working order. It just hasn't happened for her on the greens. I mean, how many shots do you think she let go or left out on the course yesterday? It was 4 or 5, wasn't it?
Easily 4 or 5, and that's the thing out here, particularly on this golf course, is that if your putter goes cold, it's not necessarily that you don't make birdies, it's that you make bogeys. There's 3 putts to be had out there, and particularly today with just so much slope around the greens and right around the area of the pin, girls really have to focus on their pace.
Yes, a more conservative approach for Amy Bolden, not taking driver. Going with 3 wood, and she's launched herself into it. She's short of the green and off the fairway. But there for 2. To the 12th. This is Kang. Again, that nice, easy rhythm. Well, from there, that's a miss, isn't it?
It is, and she'll have, quite a little mound to navigate over from there. She would have rather be up a little bit further closer to the pin, and it would have been a much more straightforward shot.
Fung for par. I can't recall her being in this situation too often over the last 3 days. This would give the field some hope, but nobody's really mounted a challenge as yet, and time is running out. This is for par. To stay 16 under. Double bogey on the first, bogey on the 6th, and now, in all likelihood, a bogey on 11. Fung drops back to her overnight score of 15 under par, and her lead is down to 5.
Yeah, very un-Shan-Shan-like that 3 putt, and you can see that she's probably a bit perplexed by it all as well.
So Fung drops the shot at the 11th. She still leads by 5 though, from Hyun Seo Kang of Korea. Rebecca Artis of Australia. Level today and 5 under for the tournament. Pamela Pretzwell, who Alison mentioned before, 1 under for the day, 5 under for the tournament. Annalise Cordal going pretty nicely with just a hole to play, 3 under, 2 under for the tournament. Bo Bia Kim of Korea, well, she threatened earlier in the week, didn't she? But not her day today. Victoria Lovelady, 2 over for the day, 4 over for the tournament, but in possession of a Buick after a hole-in-one. On the par 3 16th, 187 yards. She knocked her hybrid.
And she can't wipe the smile off her face as well.
Amy Bolden's approach to the par 5 13th. She's left herself an uphill putt there. Now Kang missed the 12th green with her approach. This is her chip. And she has work to do to make par.
An interesting play there to take such a lofted club. She was obviously trying to carry that mound that was between her and the hole, and perhaps just got a bit of a harder kick than she'd expected.
Scott Nord on the 12th tee. Her stance looks upright. Is it more upright than a lot of the players?
It's very upright, absolutely. And as we talked about yesterday, her transition from backswing to downswing, it looks a little bit faster today. You know, tempo just being a little bit out, and that's brought in a few left shots for her earlier in the day, and it looks as though that might have crept left on her again.
Well, the margins are so fine. So problems perhaps for Mariana Scott Nord. Yes, that's the swing of an amateur.
An amateur who's having the day of his life, though,
Oh,
probably.
the week of his life, in all likelihood. Now, here's fun. Oh, 15 under. She leads by 5. Topsy-turvy round so far. She likes it. And she's well set. On the 12th fairway.
Yeah, good idea from Shan Shan just to take 3-wood there. There's a bunker on the right that's 250 yards down there, and I think she would have threatened it with driver, so just taking the safe conservative play and taking 3-wood off the tee.
Charlie Hull, having used her driver to get up near the green for 2. This is her 3rd, and she's played that really well, so she'll have that for birdie. Pairing her pitch mark is Amy Bolden. Be a good 2-ball to watch that, wouldn't it?
They're good friends, actually, Amy and Charlie, and I spoke to Amy this morning, and she was really looking forward to getting out there today.
Kang for par. Her approach shot has led to this trouble for her. Has she read it right? Oh, she has. Good save. Stays at 10 under. She's second. Shot ahead of Amy Bolden. Hole for birdie. Just to get her to 3 under par. Just on the low side.
something that we pros talk about. There's the pro side and the low side to the hole, and you know we generally try to never underestimate the break. You know, if you put a ball on the top edge of the hole, it often falls in. If you put it on the bottom edge of the hole, it stays there.
Well, Brock Larson settles for par. Stays 8 under, having dropped 2 shots on the previous hole. So it's steady from Fung, nothing spectacular, but nobody really getting up ahead of steam behind her to put some pressure on and really challenge. In Guangzhou in the south of China. China's #1 holder of a major, the 2012 LPGA. 3 wins on the Ladies European Tour. She won twice in Dubai in 2012 and then won again at the end of last season. Discussing yardages with her caddy Mercer. Bolden has pushed that past the hole.
Very.
I think that was for par.
I think it was actually, and she's still got a little bit of work to do left for her bogey. You know, you can see that she was aiming at the right edge, and I think maybe just shoved it a little bit. You know, and it just had no chance of taking the break.
She's going to take her time over this one. Confirmation that this is for bogey. Consecutive bogeys for Amy Bolden. That's cramped her style.
Especially on that 13th, you know, it's a short par 5. The girls are really thinking birdie, so to walk away with bogey there, she's lost a shot and a half on the field.
Back to the 12th. Saw Kang miss the green just a few moments ago, but that's straight down the pipe. It's another birdie opportunity for Fung. It must be dispiriting to play with someone like Fung when she just keeps hitting fairways, keeps hitting greens.
This end of the tournament, you know, especially when there's 2 people in contention in the final group, you know, it does generally become a little bit more like match play, and you know, I have no doubt that, you know, Mariana is aware of how solid Shan is, and you know, and perhaps maybe just trying to put a bit too much pressure on herself on that front 9 and leaking a few shots, you know, away from par.
Fairway bunker shot for Mariana Skarpnord. Now, is that a long iron she's got in her hand? She's got to get a little bit of elevation early in the shot. There's a little bit of water to go over as well, so what would be a good result here?
I think she's got to be aiming right of the pin, just to take that front left bunker out of play, and if anything, perhaps hit it a little bit thin to protect herself from hitting it fat in the water short.
Punished by the lack of control out of the sand, but she is on the putting surface and getting closer to the pin.
She'll have about, I think, about 60 or 70 feet from there, and
yikes!
And quite a ridge, you know, that's coming off that back bunker to contend with.
So a technical flaw in her swing with the driver. She's put herself in trouble. Chen Kuo of Chinese Taipei. Down the hill, and oh, that was picking up pace, that one.
Sometimes I find with putts like that over ridges that it's almost better to break the putt up into two sections and think about, you know, how far I need to hit it to get it moving over this ridge, and then how fast does it need to go from then on.
Bolden on 14 off the back of bogeys on 12 and 13. It's a good tee shot. Back to the 12th green. Skartnord and Fung make their way uphill. No doubt about who's going to be the happier. This is Kang, who's in a little bit of trouble on 13. This is her second shot on the par 5. Sounded a bit chunky. She's on the fairway.
She would have had about 240 yards at least to the front edge of the green, so, you know, I think she knew that she wouldn't be able to get it there. But
just laying up.
Yeah, laying up and try and give yourself a good angle at the pin.
Not disastrous by any means for Kang. Opened up really well, did Kang, with birdies on first and second holes, then made another birdie on the 5th, but bogey on 9, and then 3 consecutive pars. Here's Brock Larson, her playing partner. She probably doesn't have quite as far to go, does she? What would you say, 220?
I'd say 220 to the pin, yeah, and you can see the flag moving a little bit. She'll have the wind into her off the left, from left to right there, and it's not the easiest shot today because there's a bunker right in the middle of the front of the green protecting that flag, protecting you from getting, you know, close to the hole. I think an ideal outcome here would be just right of the pin, or maybe even just on the front edge.
Quite as ordered, but she's up there for 2. Rita Rigon going nicely. This to go 7 under. Now, Skartnord, having had to come out of a fairway bunker, has left herself with this very long putt. It is for birdie.
No, I think if she got this in for birdie, I'd run up there and give her a high five myself. To say her chances are low, you know, might be an understatement, but having said that, I've been wrong before.
That's okay, she'll have that for par. And recognised by the knowledgeable crowd. It's a very difficult putt. She's given herself at least a chance of par. But we've seen her miss those putts for birdie over the last couple of days, so it's not a given by any means for Mariana Skartnord.
I can't.
Is she still outside Fung, I wonder?
She might be, yeah. Fung's shot was very, very close.
Kuo for par. to stay at 6 under. Oh, that was fast. That was fast, and she's done well there. 1 under for the day, 6 under for the tournament. Had a first round 68, but fell away in the second round with a 73 quote.
I think with that shirt on, you could say she's feeling the love today, perhaps.
Nice, Alison. Well, she's playing professional golf. Sun's out. She's under par. Now, it will indeed be fun to go. How do you see this one going?
I don't think there'll be too much movement in this, but if anything, I'd predict it going a little bit left to right. The hole's in a little bit of a bowl down there currently.
Just to get back to 16 under. Regain that shot she dropped on the 11th.
That's the second putt inside 10 feet I've seen Shan leave short today. She did one on the second hole as well earlier on for birdie, and just not quite striking them solid perhaps.
Par. With the short par 5 13th to come for Shan Feng, who leads by 5. Big putt for Scott Nord. She's 3 over for the day. She could do with this one going in. Similar to Feng's in terms of line. This to stay 5 under. She's done it. From there, from where she was, I think she'd be quite happy with that.
I think it was almost a par 3 from where she was, and she got it down in 2. So, you know, I think it's a good positive message for her making that par putt.
Little bit of mental strength there from Mariana Skarpnord, even though other things haven't been going her way today. This is how it stands as we enter the final phases of the 2015 Buick Championship. Shan Feng leads by 5 from Hyun Seo Kang of Korea. Nicole Brock-Larsen and Amy Bolden both on 8 under. Liz Young, 1 under par 71 today, 4 under for the tournament. Tied for 13th place. 69 from Annelise Caudal. Isabelle Buono, another French lady going nicely. Level par for the tournament. Having a good day today. So, to the par 5 13th. There's quite a little bit of movement in the background, isn't there?
Yeah, the crowds are building, and they're just so enthusiastic. They just want to get the best spot to see the action, and they sometimes, run at the wrong time or something like that. But, just seeing so many people out here and some of those kids in the background is just so good for the game in China.
Yeah. It's in a healthy state, the game in China.
It's booming. It's absolutely booming, and the amount of young girls that have been waving at at all the players this week. It's just so nice to see.
On the fairway for Skarpnord.
That'll be a great angle for Mariana to come in from with the pin on the right.
Kang on the 13th, having laid up after a difficult lie. Good control. So she has that for birdie. Fung on 13. Middle of the fairway once again, so in a good position. Which is, it's a shot hole, isn't it, the 13th?
It is just 474 yards for the girls, but it's probably playing a little bit closer to 500 yards today with the wind. Shan Shan right by the 230 marker there on her drive.
Brock Larson's third shot. It's just going to get away from the flag a little bit. Fung by 5. Kang leading the chase. Brock Larson and Bolden on 8 under. Chini Michai in the clubhouse on 7 under.
In the hole.
She knew immediately, didn't she?
Yeah, it just didn't seem to quite strike that one so well, and knew straight away.
Par for Brock Larson. She missed the cut in Morocco. So recovering her form here in China. Bolden for birdie on 14. Oh, that's a slippery one coming back as well. This would be a good birdie for Kang on 13. After her tee shot, and she too has missed on the low side. Half a Kang. Still 5 shots off the lead. So Bolden has left herself, what, 3 foot?
A solid,
A bit more for that was for par. It's going to be a bogey for Amy Bolden. That's a blow.
That pin position is in quite a little bowl, and I saw the same putt break 3 different ways earlier today. So, you know, the girls just having a little bit of trouble working out which is the dominant break around the greens.
It's just falling apart a little bit. 3 consecutive bogeys for Amy Bolden. Just a little bit wild in the round. Scott Nord to go first. She's going to take this on, isn't she?
I think she'll try and run it up there, yeah. I think ideally hit it something a little bit lower and scoot it up towards the front of the green.
Or not.
You can see the flag as well. It's changed. The wind's changed direction from even, you know, just an hour ago. This hole has played left to right wind all week, and there you can see, you know, the players playing straight back into the breeze.
No, it certainly looked like it was doable in 2, but she's clearly laid up. So now Fung. That's an error. Now, she did go for it.
She did, and to be honest with you, she's actually better off in the bunker than behind it. It would have been a very tricky pitch shot up over the bunker with a lot of slope to contend with, and I think she'll be able to get enough spin on the ball to get it close from there.
Still there for two, isn't she?
Very much so. Up and down and make birdie and, you know, walk off to the next with any luck.
Kuo, Chinese Taipei. 6 under. Right at the pin. I like her glasses.
She looks quite stylish, doesn't she?
Very. And a brolly.
And the pink umbrella. We won't lose her on the golf course, will we?
Adding some style to proceedings. That was one of the amateurs. Chunking it up the fairway. There is an eagle, as you can see. An eagle has been made on the 13th. That was Beth Allen. Did you have dinner with Beth last night?
I did, actually, and she's in very good spirits and always very entertaining, Beth. She's playing with a young junior girl, and she was so excited when she found out, you know, because she's one of those people that just loves to give back and just really felt like she could, you know, talk to the young girl about her game, obviously mainly through body language, but...
Bolden on 15. Leaking shots, but she's found the fairway. Not too much wrong with her long game. Back to 13. And we can see Mariana Skarpnord's ball in the middle of the fairway, 50 yards short of the green. What we can't see is Shan Shanfeng's ball in the bunker, the greenside bunker, just in front of the green. They're going to wait for one of the amateurs to play. For an amateur, this is a tough shot, isn't it? I think it's like he has a fairway wood. Stay out the bunker. I heard something.
I think it went over to the right of the pin, maybe. See if he has a putt at it.
He did find the green. Slightly different view of the 13th. After that lovely approach shot, it's Kuo for birdie. Oh, that's a quick putt.
When you've got 4 lines to contend with, sometimes it's a little tricky to work out how to get to your ball.
I guess actually it's probably 8 lines, isn't it? Because do you not have to avoid the bit a couple of feet past the hole as well? Is that the etiquette?
In theory, it's not too bad on these greens in particular this week because they're not marking up too poorly. Actually, they're really holding well, even after the moisture we had earlier in the week.
It's so different these days because it wasn't too long ago that lots of people wore metal spikes. Does any of your friends or
Christina Kim, I believe, wears half and half. You know,
right.
I think they're kind of like a soft spike with a metal prong coming out of them somewhere, and you can hear her coming. It sounds like a horse trotting down the road. And
Skarpnord. This is her third to the 13th. Beautifully played. She'll have that for birdie. And after her putt on the previous hole, she'll be confident of making birdie on this 13th. Up ahead. Kang on 14. Sitting all alone in second place. 2 shots ahead of Nicole Brock-Larsen. Very steady back 9 so far from Kang. Now, gripping down on her wedge is Fung. Would it be a lob wedge or a sand wedge?
Yeah, probably a lob wedge from here. She'll need to get it up high and stop it quite quickly. She'll just be aiming out to the left there, and just look at that slope taking it right down in the hole for her.
She's got it all, hasn't she?
She is the complete package. She's solid from tee to green and around the greens and on the greens.
Now Brock-Larsen on 14. A little bit of breeze to contend with. Looking it up and down. Is that going to just drift down the slope? No, it stays there, and that looks to be quite an awkward little putt she's left herself there.
Yeah, the 14th hole is the pin's down in a little bowl, as I said earlier, and break 12 different ways from there.
To get to 7 under for Rigon. She's enjoyed her week here in China. A bit of form for the Italian, 1 under for the day. Shan Fung leads by 5 shots through 12 holes. The closest challenger, Hyun Seo Kang of Korea. Of all the chasing pack, it's Kang who's been the steadiest, but she just hasn't been able to get something really going on her back 9. 4 consecutive pars. It's not going to be enough.
No, it's not. And in order for Shan to even look like making a mistake, she needs to have that pressure looming behind her from players like Brock-Larsen and from Kang. And at this point in time, it doesn't really look like there's going to be too much of a charge, because the girls are just kind of moseying on and making their pars. And Nicole Brock-Larsen looks like she's been a bit hard on herself, perhaps. So, and she'll need to shake that off for the final few holes in order to get back into contention.
So Scott Nord for birdie. Does Fung have a sort of an aura of invincibility about her?
I think she has an aura of just not really paying attention to what anyone else is doing, and not in a negative way at all. She's just playing her own game, and we said earlier who can get in her way, and I honestly believe she's the only person that will get in her way.
Yes. Scott Nord for birdie. She made a really good par on the previous hole. Come on, Mariana. Oh, yes. Feels like ages since the last one.
I bet that feels good.
The putter gets a kiss. She picks up a shot on the par 5 13th. Now, possibility of a sandy birdie for Shan Fung.
It should be a pretty straight putt for her. She would have got a very nice read off Mariana just earlier, and can't see this breaking outside the hole.
This to restore her 6-shot lead. It's not the first putt she's missed recently.
No, she just doesn't seem to. I think you can tell when she strikes it well. You know, out of the centre of the putter face. That looked a little bit off the heel to me, and sometimes when you hit a putt off the heel, it can just start spinning a little bit earlier and pushes it towards
Also,
the
you
right.
can tell by the sound, can't you?
Absolutely.
Bolden struggling after 3 consecutive bogeys. That's better.
She's got such a lovely compact swing, Amy. I remember when she first came out on tour, and I didn't know her that well, and I walked past her hitting on a tee and saw her swing and said, that girl's just got such good control. It gives you amazing distance control when you don't have too many moving parts in your swing.
Brock Larson. To 9 under and within a shot of Kang, who's in second place on 10 under. Oh, yes. Had a magnificent round of 65 yesterday, did Brock Larson. Out in 32. Some building work going on in the background.
I think they're always building around here. I think that's China's motto, is always expanding.
Scarpnell just double checking her alignment. Does she like it? Looks good. So a par save on the previous hole. And then a birdie. And Scarpnell in good shape. On 14. Now Amy Bolden to stop the rot. 3 consecutive bogeys. And she's pushed that birdie putt past the hole. She has work to do for par. Kang. That would have got her to 11 under and within 4 of the lead. This is our leader. Doesn't change, does it? Just does not change.
It doesn't, and her course management has been impeccable today. Just taking 3 wood there. There's a set of bunkers that are 234 yards off the tee, and there's just no point bringing those into play on such a short par 4.
Kang for par. That was a positive putt. Stays at 10 under. It's her 5th consecutive par. She just can't seem to build any momentum. It's steady, but I think she needs to be spectacular. This is the leading group walking up the 14th fairway. Do you spend a lot of time in China?
I don't actually. I'm mainly just here for the LET events over the past few years. But I always enjoy my time here, and you know, we try and get out and explore it as much as we can earlier in the week. Sometimes on a Tuesday after an early practice round, we go and take a look at the city that we're in and try to get to know the culture of the place.
It's an extraordinary country, and there's just this fantastic energy about it. I mean, it's reflected in all the building work, but it just feels so alive. And they love golf.
They do, and you know, you can hear it in their voices how excited they are to have the tournament here, so close to Shanghai. It's first that, you know, I can remember having a tournament, you know, within an hour of the city, China.
Quo. It's coming. She's playing with Margarita Rigon. To the 15th. A slight dog leg left. Water down the right. Brooke Larson having a very good tournament. Stay. Stay. Ah. Will she take a provisional there?
No, I don't think she'll have to. It's a red water hazard, and she'll have a few options. If she is in fact in the water, she can take 2 club lengths. She can either go back to the tee as well, or she can also keep the point of entry to the hazard in line with the pin and walk backwards. So she'll have a few options if she needs them.
Her playing partner is Kang. It's an elegant swing. She's played a lovely drive. Right down the middle of the fairway. Margarita Rigon for birdie on 16. To get to 7 under. Seen a lot of putts left short today. That's another one. Par for the Italian. This is Quo for par. The 16th. Safely negotiated. First to play will be Fung. She's opened up the green, hasn't she? With her drive. Oh. Do you think she's a bit nervous?
Not quite sure what's happening. She just didn't seem to catch that quite right. Just caught a little bit heavy and it went left straight away. She'll have an interesting bunker shot from there up over that ridge that you can see running through the green.
It's not all plain sailing for Shan Feng. There's nobody really set to take advantage of her wobbling. Oh, immaculate from Skarpnord. Consecutive birdies on the card for her. Par 3, 16th. Playing 170 yards today. Shan Shanfeng leads by 5 shots from Hyun Seo Kang of Korea. Nicole Brock-Larsen, 9 under. Ah, Stacey Keating. She's had a good day. 7 under. She shot a 68. Absolutely stunning opening round from Stacey Keating. Then got caught in the wind a little bit on Friday, but she's made it into a good week with a lovely final round. Charlie Hull has had her struggles today. Still under par for the tournament. Joint 19th with Annelise Cadal, who's had a really good day. Now, saw Nicole Brock-Larsen's drive head for the water.
She must have only been inches away from dry land there. I think she must have caught a bit of a bad break. It always feels like a real lost shot when that happens, you know, being so close to safety and then, you know, having to sacrifice the shot of a drop.
So she's going to drop a shot. Not the easiest stance.
No, and that ball seemed to nestle down a little bit into the grass. So, you know, she'll be coming in with a short iron, perhaps, you know, just a sand wedge even, knowing how long Nicole is. And sometimes it's actually harder to hit a shot out of a bad lie with a wedge because you put so much spin on the ball and it gets to be a little bit unpredictable.
Well, she could still make par. Just checking the yardage. Is it wind off from the left?
Yeah, the wind will be helping off the left, and the pin's in quite an accessible place. It's pretty close to the centre of the green, and I'd be surprised if she didn't aim a little bit left of the pin, with considering her stance with her feet above the ball. Often makes the ball spin from left to right.
This is her third shot. Well, she's found the green. She's got a long putt for par. A little bit frustrated. Nicole Brock-Larsen.
This is the part of the game where having a caddy that knows you is it's just so important, because, you know, you can talk to them about your frustrations, or, you know, knowing Ben, he'll try and crack a joke and, you know, maybe lighten the mood a little bit. It's just so important for your mental game.
Kang. Lovely control. Yet to make a birdie on the back nine. 5 consecutive pars. Now Feng from the bunker on 14. Will that come back a little bit? No. That was her third shot, I think, and she'll have that for par. Bolden having missed the green on the par 3 16th. So we've just seen Feng's bunker shot, as Bolden will have to wait before her par putt on 16. Here is the par putt of our leader. This to stay 15 under. Makes a better sound coming off the putter face, but it's going to be a bogey at least for Feng. She hasn't quite got her A game.
No, she seems to be faltering a little bit, and it just seems so out of character because she's been rock solid all week long, and you know, I think anyone would have predicted it for her to be challenging 20 under today from her previous form, and you know, it's just been a bit average for her out there.
Level par for the day. 14 under for the tournament. Now Skarpnord, 4 consecutive birdies. Moved a lot. Wasn't really a most convincing putt, was it?
No, I think sometimes towards the end of a round, especially, you know, in the final groups, you can try too hard with your putting and perhaps look up a little bit early. You know, when you're trying so hard and you want to see where the ball goes, it's just so important to keep your head down and make a really assertive stroke.
Six under par, Mariana Skarpnord. Pamela Pretzwell from Scotland. That was to get to 6 under. This for a round of 71. Pretty good week for Pamela. She's tied for 11th. It's very consistent.
Yeah, I know she's got her dad, William, on the bag this week, and they've both got just such a lovely Scottish sense of humour to them. We were standing at the breakfast line this morning and pointing out, trying to work out what everything was because they didn't have any signs in front of the food, and William's like, I'm just going in for it, and in true Scottish manner, he went for it, and I hope he enjoyed his breakfast.
Pamela has enjoyed her week. This is Brock Larson after that drop. This is for par. She gave it a go. It's not over.
You know, that putt was a classic example of how the longer putts can just leak away from you with all of this slope.
Bolden for par on 16. She makes it. So par for Bolden on the par 3 16th. She stays 7 under. Skarpnord. Does it seem a little bit darker to you?
It does. We had so much blue sky earlier on today, and I think perhaps just clouding over a little bit.
off that phone, please.
Mariana not happy, but she has found the fairway and found the middle of the fairway. It was politely put, I think, wasn't it?
I think she said please.
Yeah.
So I think there's a couple of people that might have been less diplomatic than
Yes.
Mariana there.
Yes. She didn't let it distract her. Kang. Yet another birdie opportunity for the Korean. She hasn't had a birdie since the 5th hole. She's had her chances. And another one slides by. Six consecutive pars for Kang. I suppose if anybody was going to mount a challenge, she was the most likely, and she just hasn't been able to do it. Made a fantastic start with birdies on the 1st and 2nd, and another one on the 5th, and you just thought, oh, she's got some momentum, but bogey on the 9th becalmed her. There's been nobody to take advantage of the wobbling Shan Feng, who still has a 5-shot lead and finds the fairway on 15. Quo. On her penultimate hole.
She's done very well to get it that close on 17. The pin's cut way over on the left side, and there's a big mound defending the front of that flag, and that's a fantastic shot from where she was.
Shan Feng leads. Nobody has been able to make a challenge. The closest to her, Hyun Seo Kang. Annalise Cordal, a 69 today. Got her to 2 under for the tournament. .73 for Nana Madsen, a rookie, enjoying her early life on the LET.
We had a hole-in-one earlier this week here from Victoria Lovelady. The hole playing a little bit shorter today, though, but sadly that car will not be up for grabs, which I'm sure a few of the girls will be disappointed about because it is beautiful inside and out.
Kang. Well, just runs off to the right of the green.
If there is a place to miss it on the 16th, it is short in front of the green and over to the right there. It's a relatively straightforward chip for Kang there, and I think I'd prefer chipping from the front than putting from the back of this green, actually.
We saw Bolden make par from just that position. Brock Larson now. She has a really big future, doesn't she?
Oh, very much so. I'm just so impressed by her game, and she's generally unflappable on the golf course. We've seen her be perhaps a little bit more negative today, especially in the last few holes, just trying to mount the challenge perhaps, and just not quite having things go her way yet.
It's an excellent shot. It's going to come round. Come on. fraction away from leaking down towards the pin. This is Margarita Rigon. Approach to the 17th. Oh, wonderful.
What a fantastic shot. I thought that had a chance of going in for a second there.
Brilliant from
Wow.
Rigon. She's really found her form. Now, Scott Nord. Not letting somebody on their mobile phone distract her. Finding the middle of the fairway with her drive, and this is her approach to the 15th. Well, it checked, but it didn't come back, so she'll have that for birdie. Fun next. So one practice swing. Dear, oh dear, it's perfect again.
That's more like the Shan we've
Yeah.
been seeing of the past few days.
It is a good tactic if your putter's not quite as hot as it has been, as to put it right next to the hole, so you just have to kick it in.
Makes it a little easier, doesn't
Oh.
it? She just sounded like she caught that ball so crisply. You could hear it in the contact.
Scott Norden fun. Approach the green on 15. Lovely, lovely shot from Shan Shun Feng. This is Charlie Hull. Trying to make the green at 17 in 2. Well, she's got a little bit of green to work with from that bunker. Certainly had the distance.
Yeah, it won't be too bad from there, obviously dependent on her lie, but she is the first person that I've seen get any remotely close to that green, and with the pin on the left over there, that's really obviously going to tempt the girls a little bit more today, now that the wind isn't into their face anymore.
I think it's one of the amateurs to go first. Just a reminder that the amateurs are playing with a professional as part of a team, but they're also playing an individual Stableford competition with some prize money for the professional at stake. Amy Bolden has laid up with her second shot, so this is her third to the par 5 17th. Oh, she's left that short.
That's going to be a very tricky bunker shot for Amy there. It's quite a deep bunker, and she'll have a lot of slope to take into account.
To the par 3 16th, and Kang, having missed the green with her tee shot, needs to get up and down. She's all alone in second place and has been for some time. She's played that really well. So she'll have that for par. Exchanges her wedge for her putter. Thoughtful, I think that expression is. This is a birdie opportunity for Marianne Skarpnord to get to 7 under. Fun for birdie. Just to get back to 15 under and restore that 5-stroke advantage. No mistake. Not too many pars in there.
No, it's quite a colourful card, isn't it? We've seen a few of those today. Amy Bolden's also had quite a bit of red and blue all over it.
Yes, yes. So Skarpnord's par putt. Just get an idea of how this green slopes. Middle of the cup for the Norwegian. Acknowledges the applause.
She's a great sportswoman, Mariana, and often we've heard over the last 2 days, you know, her really complimenting Shan Shan on, well, in particular today, on her good play. You know, whenever Shan Shan hits a good shot, she makes an effort of pointing that out to her and saying, you know, great shot there.
That was Amy Bolden. Having dumped her 3rd shot into the bunker, that's her 4th, so she has that for par. A bit of tape on that right elbow. Brock Larson to get to 9 under. This would get her within a shot of Kang, but never really threatened the hole.
That was just such a fast putt down that slope. He said earlier, Nigel, that, you know, she was inches away from not catching it and having the ball come back towards the hole, and you know, it would have been a much easier shot if it had.
Hole's 3rd from the bunker after going for the green in 2 on 17. It'll come round. It'll come round. Nicely done. She'll have that for birdie. Third round 67 for Charlie Hull. Not able to match that today. Brock Larson for par. Stays at 8 under. What would you say? I mean, it's interesting. You see someone like Brock Larson and Shan Shan Feng, who is 5 in the world. There's obviously a big difference. I mean, how difficult would it be for someone like Brock Larson to make up that difference? What does she have to do?
I really just think it's about, you know, those little 1%, you know, just scrambling sometimes when you're not hitting the ball the best. And I think Shan Shan's mental game is just so solid. She seems so unflappable on the golf course, and sometimes I wonder whether there is anyone else on the golf course for her, if it's just her and the hole.
Fung on the par 3 16th. A few of the girls have pushed it right. And, oh, it looked like it was going to be short, but it bounces onto the green and runs up towards the pin. And it's another very presentable birdie opportunity for our leader. Now, Bolden for par. She hasn't given it enough. Ah, it's been very untidy from Amy Bolden. It's her 4th bogey on the back 9, her 5th overall. And that stretch of holes, 12, 13, 14, her undoing. But she'll learn from that. She's the kind of player that will take that on board. Now bending down and placing her ball on the tee is Mariana Skarpnord.
I heard a funny story that on this hole yesterday, a couple of the groups had to wait because there was a boat floating by on a rowboat, and they were
There were people in it?
There were, yeah, making a bit of a splash out there. So they had some of the crowd trying to direct the boat away from the green, but all in good fun.
Looking for golf balls.
Perhaps, yeah.
Skarpnord gives it the eye. Oh, it's lovely. It's going to come back. It's going to come back. It's not going to come back.
Who knows, maybe it'll be a repeat of the 10th hole, and
yes.
The next shot we'll see is her ball below the hole.
Kang. Par 5 17th.
You know, some players seem to hit the golf ball, and she just really seems to swing the golf club. Just such beautiful tempo.
The left-hand low putting star belongs to Charlie Hull for birdie. Yes. So taking that risk of going for the green in 2 has paid off for Charlie Hull. But as you can see, the start that she made really set her back, and she's been playing catch-up for the rest of the round. I guess when you have a style like Charlie Hull's, where she does go for things, that can happen.
Yeah, very true. You know, it can lead to a lot of birdies and a lot of bogeys. And, you know, her course management's something that she'll need to work on in the future if she's going to iron some of those bogeys out.
It's Brock Larson's tee shot that's just going to stay out of the bunker. 17.
I think she'll be able to get pretty close to this green in 2 from there. She'll have about 230 odd yards to the front left edge of the green there.
Gallery following the leading group as we come towards the conclusion of the 2015 Buick Championship. And leading the way is Shanshan Fung. She's on 15 under. She has a 5-stroke lead over Hyun Seo Kang of Korea. Tied for 18th place, Annalise Cordal. After a round of 69 today, 2 under for the tournament. Charlie Hull, we've just seen her, she's 3 over for the day. Deanna Luna, round of 70. The veteran Italian, am I allowed to call her a veteran Italian?
I think you are. She's actually just, I believe, come back from maternity leave. So She is in great form, you know.
That's her
given
second,
such a quick
second
recovery.
child, isn't it?
It is.
Yes. It's nice to travel with the family, isn't it? It's very hard to leave them behind sometimes, especially when you spend so much time away from home. But good to see her carrying on her golfing career. She's a superstar. And a superstar with 2 children. There's a lot of blue there. Saw Melina Jorgensen practicing hard at her short game, obviously not happy with how things have been going. We had breakfast this morning with Jade Scheffer.
Always a character, Jade.
Always wearing her hat.
She is. That's so true. You mentioned, you know, hats indoors to her, and she's like, in France, this is normal, you know, and I think that's her answer to most questions, actually.
She was concentrating so hard on her breakfast, and I said to her, "So, Jade, it's true." And she looked up, shocked. What? I said, "So you do never take your hat off?" Are we? Bolden on 18. She smashed that down the middle. That's gone a long way. Back to 16.
This putt will be pretty quick back down that ridge, and predict it'll go a little bit right to left, but looking at her feet, she's aiming left, so
right, yes.
see what happens.
This is for birdie. And there's a job for Alison on Mariana's bag.
You know, that's a testament to how hard these greens are to read. You know,
absolutely.
I had the benefit of seeing a couple of groups come through that hole earlier and see the majority of the putts turn right to left on 16. But looking at it for the first time, sometimes it's a bit tricky to catch those subtle breaks.
That's for par. Holding it together, Mariana Skarpnord, but no more. This is Kang on the 17th. She's just going to put it towards the throat of the green, just opening it up.
You know, I can see the temptation for the longer players here to go for 17 and 2, because there is that small portion of fairway over on the left side of the green where the flag is today, and it's quite a tricky wedge shot from where Kang will have to hit from.
For birdie, for Rigon. Good performance from Margarita Rigon on this final day.
Margarita is a classic Italian in so many ways to me. You know, she speaks with her hands when things aren't going right, and it's always fun to watch.
So this is fun for birdie on 16. This will increase her lead to 6. With 2 to play. Stays at 5. If she puts it in. She wasn't going to miss.
Just a mere formality for Shanshan there.
Level for the day. Brock Larson on 17. She is one of the longer hitters. And the bounce took something off that.
It did, but I think overall it was pretty lucky because she looked a bit worried that it was going towards that bunker, and I think 2 feet to the right, and she would have had a very difficult up and down, but she should be able to get it close from there.
So rookie last year when she did really well. There was stiff competition for Rookie of the Year, wasn't it? Sally Watson. And I think Brock Larson had to finish in the top 3 at Dubai and finished tied 5th. So she gave it a go.
Yeah, it was a real battle between the 3 of them last year, and all just such high quality players. You know, some years you see the Rookie of the Year, you know, finishing around 40 or 50 on the order of merit, but all of the girls were just so competitive and all had a chance to win in their own right.
Quo for birdie. 17th tee. Fung.
Yeah, that's good.
I think we can assume that's on the fairway. We can. She just walked away from it, didn't need to look.
It's quite a generous fairway here on 17, and a lot of the trouble really comes into play on the second and third shots. You know, there's very few kind of what I call brainless drives on this golf course, but I think this is, you know, a rather straightforward tee shot for the girls.
Is the polite way of putting that opening your shoulders? Is that what you mean by brainless?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, I'll be using that next time out on the golf course. Quo putts out. Around a 70. 1 under for the day, 6 under for the tournament. Or 71, actually, I should say. Apologies. Mariana Scarpnord. Can't see anybody on their phone. Somebody's taking a picture just behind her. I hope that camera doesn't go off. She holds her concentration. Looking a little bit pensive. Just behind Fung's ball. Bolden on 18. This is her approach.
It's an interesting pin position here on 18, and the girls have to aim well out to the right of the hole to get it anywhere near the flag.
Oh. Terrific shot. Really good from Amy Bolden.
I saw Amy in the hotel lobby this morning, and I asked her who was going to be on her bag, because Joe, who she had on as caddy on the first day, fell sick, and she had her partner, Paul, stand in for her yesterday, and seems like Paul again today.
It's coming back. Another birdie opportunity for Kang. 7 consecutive pars on this back 9, just when she needed to press the accelerator. She hasn't been able to do it. Brock Larson, this is her 3rd shot. Come on. Oh. But she has that for birdie. Knuckle nudge.
I know, a nice little fist pump there with her with her amateur partner. It's always nice to see, you know, the rapport that the girls build with their partners over the weekend, especially in this kind of format.
I think they've enjoyed playing with the amateurs. It has been different, and you know, I think they've taken it on board and embraced the concept.
I think it can break up the intensity sometimes of the final rounds. You know, when you're playing against the people that you're in contention with, that, you know, you can get a little too focused sometimes. And I think seeing the enthusiasm of the amateur players this weekend has been really nice for the girls.
Coming towards the end of the 2015 Buick Championship, and Shan Feng leads by 5 as Brock Larson taps in for birdie. Kang indicating that there's quite a lot of movement in this putt. For birdie.
His front left section of 17 has just got so much slope on it, and all of the shots seem to drain actually down towards where Kang's ball is. She'll be putting back up this quite a substantial slope actually, back towards the hole.
2 under for her round. 10 under for the tournament. And she's had her opportunities on this back nine. Brock Larson has made birdie to get within a shot of Kang in second place. This would restore the 2-shot advantage. Yes, she's got one. She moves to 11 under par. 4 shots off the lead. Three under for the day. She's played very well.
Yeah, you'd have to think that guarantees her an outright second finish, you know, with Nicole Brock Larson being back on 8 under and 1 hole to play for Kang.
Scott Nord first to go. What would she be carrying? Would that be possibly a 5, or is that a 3 wood?
It looks like a 5 wood, or maybe even a hybrid. I think her lie will really take going to the green out of play. As you can see it over there on the left. This ball will be travelling a little bit left to right out of this stance.
Sea of bunkers in front of her, not to mention the lake. It's a pretty good result. Charlie Hull.
Go!
That was for birdie. She's had her moments, well, particularly yesterday, Charlie Hull. It's a round of 75, 3 over par for the day, 2 under for the tournament. Looks like it's going to be a top 20 finish for Charlie Hull, but not quite what she would have wanted coming into the week. Do you think she'll take this on?
I think she will. They look like they're looking over to the left side there, and you know, she'll have about 230 yards to the front of the green again, but only 190 to carry the water. I think she'll be really tempted.
When you have a 4-shot lead, and you're on the penultimate hole, is the best thing to do to go for it? I mean,
Oh, it looks like she's going out to the right. She
Yeah.
she faked me out a little bit there, but yeah, you know, it's hard to work out when to stick to a game plan and when to be conservative. I think sometimes it's better to play aggressively to conservative targets in that situation.
may well be that Mercer, her caddy, influenced her decision, perhaps.
The voice of reason, perhaps.
She does play it safe. She's not the one that needs to push, is she? So Kang on 18. Running out of holes. It's another nice tee shot from her. Amy Bolden. This to finish on 7 under. Nicely done. Four bogeys on the back nine, but ending with a birdie. And 7 under. It's a tie for 4th place. She may well be left wondering what might have been, but still a pretty decent week for Amy Bolden. Rookie of the Year last year, as we were talking about.
Such a great swing there from Nicole. You could see how balanced she was through her finish, and I always think when the player finishes so solidly on their left side, you know, you can just almost automatically look straight up the middle of the fairway.
Well, just waiting for one of the amateurs to play. Gets it on the green. But it's the pros we're looking at as we come towards the end of the 2015 Buick Championship here in Shanghai. It's Shan Shan Feng who leads by 4 shots. Well, it hasn't been easy out there today in the wind. Been some good rounds. 69 from Anneliese Cordal. But really, it's been all about the leading group and the leading player, Shan Shan Feng. Her playing partner is next to go, and that's Marianne Skarpnord. Two over for the day. As we were talking about yesterday, she's got half an eye on Solheim Cup, hasn't she?
Yeah, I think she's an outside chance of maybe a captain's pit, but with so many European players on the LPGA at current time, you know, Pernilla Lindberg, Davy Claire Schreifel, that have just been on the buffer zone the last few years. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them broke into the pack also.
Yeah. Beautiful shot from Skarpnord. As we've been talking about all afternoon, it's just the differences are so small, and her long game's been pretty good.
It has been, and she made some really clutch up and downs on the front nine today, and I think, you know, perhaps if a birdie putt or two had dropped, you know, we'd be looking at a bit of a different story altogether.
Well, Feng is having a very close look at the green. She's looking to where to pitch the ball. Does she want to put it on top of that slope and run it down? Is that what she's going to be doing or trying to do?
Well, you always look for the flattest part of the green that you can land on because it gives you the most consistent bounce, especially with a wedge, with the spin being a little bit unpredictable at times. But it's an interesting layup for Shan Shan here because she's given herself what will be a restricted swing shot. She'll have a half shot from there, I think probably only about 50 or 60 yards. And she's got quite a tricky angle, and as you could see that, that ridge to contend with. So I'd be surprised if she didn't just try and land it right on the top of the ridge, unless she's going to play it safe and hit it out to the right, and who knows, maybe perhaps even run it a little bit over the ridge as well. She's got a few options.
This is her third shot to the par 5 17th. China, Korea and Denmark atop the leaderboard.
I think if I was Shan Shan, I'd be aiming at the man just to the right of the hole, but it'll be interesting to see what line she takes.
Right at him. She's going to bring it round, and realistically, she only needs par, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think she'd be happy with 2 pars going in, but having said that, she did say that she, wanted to try and win by as many shots as possible.
This is her closest challenger. Has been all afternoon. Hyun-seo Kang of Korea. Very steady. Not what was required.
She'll have a relatively easy up and down from there, though. I think if you're going to miss this pin anywhere and have a chip, that's the spot to do it. She'll have a chip straight back up the hill, essentially.
This is the battle for second place. Nicole Brock Larson is 9 under following that birdie on 17. 2 shots behind Kang. Honours even, I think.
I think, you know what, if that had just a bit of a bigger bounce or perhaps just a yard or 2 more carry, that would have been right down near the pin. She was very unlucky there. It was a great angle to take at that flag.
She'll take a lot of encouragement from, 21 years old, coming all the way out to China and performing at or near her potential. Great learning experience. And as we've discussed, somebody with a really big future in the game. This is one of the amateurs playing in the final group. It's a quick stroke. And he's got one coming back as well.
He doesn't mind the odd fist pump, this player as well, actually. I saw him make a putt out there earlier and he got pretty excited. It's fun to watch.
There's a lot of communication between Feng and her caddy. It's almost like she's got to play it along a ridge.
It should go perhaps a little bit left to right, and it's well uphill, but it's one of those putts where you don't really want to, give it too much of a run at the same time because, a slippery 3-footer coming back is not what she needs right now.
Oh, she's nailed it. What a putt. $16 under par. And that's the mark of a champion. She had a bogey on 14, and then birdied 15, a par on 16 when she just missed a birdie putt, and then another birdie on 17. She's unstoppable. Now, were this to go in, Mariana Skarpnord could hop up the leaderboard. She's on 6 under. It's 4 players on, well, tied for 4th. Skarpnord will join them if she can finish off her wonderful approach work. She can. She's kept it together well, hasn't she, Skarpnord?
You know, it's hard not to feel like she's just moseying along, but when you look at her card, she's made 3 birdies in the last 9 holes and, you know, has been moving along quite nicely.
The lead is 5 shots for Shanshan Feng over Hyun Seo Kang of Korea. So, Kang, this is her 3rd shot on the par 4 18th. She's looking to secure 2nd place. 2 shots ahead of Nicole Brock-Larsen. Oh, it's brilliantly played. That just about does secure 2nd place, at least.
That'll be her second place finish on the LET in the last 6 months. I believe she came second at the Hero Women's Indian Open at the end of last year as well, tied with Fabienne Inalbon and Hannah Burke, I believe.
Well, at 27, she's got plenty of time left as well. We've been talking about her marvellous swing, so she's got the tools to do well. And here's another one with a marvellous swing.
Sit. Sit.
Oh, she doesn't like it. Stayed on the fairway, I think.
I'm not sure.
I think the caddy said, I'm not sure, but I think we saw it stay up. Now, Brock-Larsen. .65 yesterday. She's 3 under for the day. That's a naughty one coming back too. 2 shots between Nicole Brock-Larsen in 3rd place and a gaggle of players in 4th. Skarpnord's last tee shot of the tournament.
Okay.
shot.
Better swing there from Mariana. You can tell straight away that she's looking straight up the middle of the fairway. She'll have a nice angle from there.
Well, a birdie for her would give her sole possession of 4th place. On the green, up ahead, penultimate group. Brock Larson for par and a round of 69.
That's a classic example of what these greens can do to you. If you spend too much time looking at the line of the putt and sometimes forget just how fast you have to hit it and how fast some of these slopes are. So you just that one just creeping away from Nicole and costing her a shot.
Kang also made par on that hole. So I think it's going to be as you were. Second for Kang, and third for Nicole Brock Larson. So that drop shot for the Dane may not prove to be too costly. There's confirmation. Shan Feng leads by 5 from Hyun Seo Kang. A windy day and reflected in some of the scores. 3 under, Florentina Parker, Pierre Yun Chan of Chinese Taipei. Level par for the day. She threatened earlier in the week. 2 under for the tournament. Deanna Luna, 2 under for the day. Victoria Lovelady, as we may have mentioned, having a hole-in-one on the first day.
What a great week for Victoria. I know she has a blast wherever she goes, but this week in particular.
Difficult days for those players. But our focus is on the leading group as the gallery makes its way towards the 18th green. That's a lovely view of the final hole. It's a really good example of the whole golf course. Lots of bunkers, lots of water, lots of undulations everywhere.
It's quite an animated crowd here today as well. They're obviously enjoying themselves out there and, you know, unafraid to yell out some encouragement to people on the golf course, which is just great fun.
So Feng was a bit worried about her drive, but as you can see, she had no need to be. And there's no need to do anything silly here. Pretty good feeling, I guess, walking up the 18th with a 5-shot lead.
Oh, it must be absolutely incredible for her. And I know she had that in mind coming into this tournament, you know, that she just really wanted to come back and support the tour in China, and obviously her sponsor Buick as well, who've been very good to her. And I just think it's just the perfect finish to the week for her.
Yeah, it definitely covers over the right corner.
There's an element of risk to this approach shot, isn't there, with the water between her and the green?
There is, and you know, we've just seen Nicole Brock Larson make bogey from the green as well. So, you know, there's just no easy par, I don't think, coming into 18.
She looks it up and down, and it's going to run down the slope towards the pin. It's another wonderful shot from Shan Feng. Nothing's going to stop her now.
So nice to see her just enjoy that moment and just have a big smile. You know, once you've got it on the dance floor, I think, you know, she's allowed to relax and just savor the moment.
Now Scott Nord. Looking for a birdie. Oh, she's given herself every chance. This would put her into a tie for third with Nicole Brock-Larsen.
Of the two putts there, Nigel, Mariana definitely has the easier of the two. Just straight back up the hill. There won't be too much break in it, whereas Shan's should break a little bit right to left, and it's just down in a little bowl there and comes off the hill.
The applause is well deserved for Shan Feng. After her win in Dubai, she said, well, I'm going to go out and get some retail therapy, so Shanghai, watch out.
No kidding, we'll see her maybe out at the night markets later on.
Well, she has been the dominant figure this week. And Stacey Keating really set the tournament ablaze, didn't she, on the first day? But Shan Feng wasn't far behind, 65 to Keating 63. And then day two in the wind, which really did for Stacey Keating's chances. She played when the wind was at its worst. Feng accelerated away, increased her lead yesterday, only by one shot, but it was an increase. And she's never been seriously threatened this afternoon.
You can see the girls already. Armed and dangerous with chilled water over the back of the green.
Crowd cheering on one of the amateurs.
You know, I just can't keep saying how much of an amazing experience this must have been for the amateurs who had to qualify to be here. They're all here in their own right, and I know growing up, if I'd had the chance to play alongside the pros, I would have done anything to get it. It's just such an amazing experience. And I believe that putt of his was about 80 feet, so he's done pretty well.
Yeah. And in front of an audience as well. I wonder what's going through her mind.
I can only imagine.
The amateurs just going to finish up. And the stage will be set. Who's first here? Is it Mariana Scott, not?
It's hard to tell from the way that they're both looking at their putts, actually. I think it might just be Shan, maybe.
Well, they both have birdie putts.
I think they could probably flip for the honour. It
Yeah.
looks that close.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Mariana to putt first.
I think, you know, even in this situation, even if it was Shan Shan, I wouldn't be surprised if Mariana putted and, you know, got hers out of the way for Shan Shan just to finish off in style, perhaps.
This would move her up to a tie for third with Nicole Brock-Larsen were it to go in. Round of 72 for Mariana Skartnord. It would get her to 8 under par. Oh. If she pops that in, she'll be tied for fourth. Case of what may have been for Mariana Skartnord. An eventful week for the Norwegian. Just couldn't finish off what she started. 1 over for the day. The amateurs will finish their round. What a couple of days they've had. And all credit to the professionals for being so welcoming and friendly. It's created a special atmosphere around the tournament. Shan Shan Fang waits patiently for her turn. .65 on the opening day. She followed that with a 67 on Friday. 69 yesterday. She's 1 under for the day. This is a birdie putt. Fan Chong is the 2015 Buick Championship winner. 17 under par, a final round of 70. She gets a soaking. It's gonna feel good. She's played magnificently. She had difficult moments this afternoon, but she's come through them. And she has won the title by 6 shots. 17 under par.
What a character as well. It's nice they had a towel for her, though. You know, it's not that warm out, is it?
Oh, she's not going to feel the cold.
Sorry, no. That's okay. Thank you. I'm so wet. Thank you.
I'll tell you what, you hope her scorecard's not in her back pocket, don't you? Might be a little tricky to read.
Well, there was nobody really to challenge her. She's been very steady. And she's finished it off in style. Birdies on 17 and 18. Superb first 2 days. And once she had the lead, this was the moment. Congratulations from her caddy. Then comes the soaking. And here's the crowd's reaction. It's a home win.
I tell you what, he really made a dash for it there, didn't he? It was a 30-metre sprint.
What a popular win. China's number one.
So, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next in just less than 15 minutes, we'll have the prize-giving ceremony. Thank you for your...
So, confirmation. Shan Feng wins by 6 shots, a final round of 70, 2 under for the day, 17 under for the tournament. She's blown away the field. Impressive performance from Hyun-Seo Kang of Korea. The rest, nowhere. Some good performances further down the leaderboard. We've been talking about Diana Luna coming back from maternity leave. 2 under for the day, 1 under for the tournament. Isabelle Boineau of France. 1 under for the day, 71, but 2 over for the tournament. And plenty of Chinese players making the cut and experiencing tournament play at the weekend. She's a worthy winner, isn't she, Shan Feng?
Very much so, and she does so much for golf in China. I think just really, paving the way for those to follow. There's such a great young group of girls that are benefiting from her experience right now, and it's just so exciting to see.
Impressive performance from Nicole Brock-Larsen in 3rd place. The young Dane on her way to what could be a fantastic career and proving it miles away from home. Well, it has been a special tournament because of the amateurs and because of the way that our winner, Shan Feng, has played and dominated the event. She's probably going to move up to number 4 in the world. She really has been a class apart.
She has been, and you can see it there reflected in the leaderboard, and this is the team competition as well, and what a nice dynamic that's added to the weekend. It started on Saturday, and I think it encouraged some really aggressive play from the pros coming into the weekend. Maybe giving those that had just made the cut by a shot something else to play for as well.
Well, it's a clean sweep for Shan Feng. She's won the individual event, she's won the team event. Or jointly, we should add, with Sally Watson. Good performance from Scotland's Sally Watson. And all those players will have memories that will last a lifetime. They've played tournament golf. The closest challenger, Hyun-Seo Kang of Korea. Level par in her first round, but accelerated in the second with a 67 and then consecutive 69s. She finished on 11 under par, sole possession of 2nd place. The second time she's done that on the Ladies European Tour. It's an impressive performance. Nicole Brock-Larsen, as we mentioned, hugely impressive from the young Dane. She'll have something to celebrate with her 22nd birthday next week, as the tour moves on to Turkey. And Nicole Brock-Larsen in great form, And then tied for fourth, Mariana Skarpnord, Wichani Michai of Thailand. A really good round of 67 today. Stacey Keating, what a great recovery from Stacey Keating.
So good to see Stace play well in this final round, you know, bookending her tournament very nicely there with a 4-under today.
Margarita Rigon also tied for fourth, along with Amy Bolden, a 67 on Saturday, a 70 today. But they're all in the money, and they're all tied for fourth. As preparations are made for the presentation ceremony on the 18th green here at the Chichong Garden Golf Club in Shanghai. Shan Shanfeng is making her way to the interview area. And hopefully we're going to hear from her very soon. I think she's got to get dried off, hasn't she?
Maybe put a jacket on, perhaps.
She got a soaking. Well, let's hear from our winner. She won by 6 shots, and it's Shan Shanfeng.
Ladies European Tour, a dodgy start, but after that, a comfortable victory for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first hole, I wasn't nervous at all, but I just misjudged about the wind and hit it in bunker, 3-putted, and then actually got nervous after that because, you know, my gap between me and the second place was like from 7 to like 5. So I was like a little bit nervous, but and then I think I took care of it pretty well on the last 2 holes, and I'm really happy about the win.
You've looked so impressive all week. What's been the key to success here?
I would say this is a great course for me, great design. Very lucky that actually they watered the greens like before we started, so that gave us a lot of birdie chances, and I think the key was just to try to make more birdies, and doesn't matter, everybody's going to make mistakes. Like today, for me, I made like 1 double and maybe 3 bogeys, so, but I still made like maybe 7 birdies, so I think that's the key.
Every win is special, but I guess a win in China for you is extra special. Just explain that for us a little bit.
Yeah, of course. This is not my first time to win in China. I think this is my 3rd time, I believe that, and 2nd time for the LET. And I'm really honored, you know, to win, you know, because it's my sponsor's tournament, Buick's tournament, and it's the first year that it became an LET event. So I was really, you know, I came back just to support the tournament, and I didn't set any goals, but then at the end I played really well and won it. So I think I want to make Buick be proud of me.
Well, you've certainly done that. Congratulations, and here's your trophy.
Yep, thank you.
Mr. Shanxing, General Manager of the Golf Club, presents Shan Shanfeng with the flowers. And Mr. Bao Ye, the General Director of Buick, hands over the trophy. A worthy winner. She's played some fantastic golf this week, and nobody could catch her. She is the winner of the 2015 Buick Championship. Well, let's look at some highlights from the final round of the 2015 Buick Championship. This was Shan Shanfeng's approach shot to the 10th as it found the bank and came swinging back towards the hole.
Using gravity to perfection there, Shan Shan, and she did that so well today, just really reading the slopes and being really strategic.
Charlie Hull on the par 3 11th, and she stuck it right next to the pin. Probably the highlight of Charlie's round.
Definitely. You know, things weren't going Charlie's way today, but
Bolden also made birdie on that hole. She's enjoyed a good week as Amy Bolden, the 2014 Rookie of the Year, and the big hitting Nicole Brock-Larsen has enjoyed playing this golf course.
I think so. You know, it is a long hitters golf course. There's quite generous fairways, and you can be really aggressive on the pins.
She can be very satisfied with her week's work, as can Hyun-Seo Kang. That was a birdie on the 12th. She put it in a bunker, but look how she got out of it. She just has an all-round game. Mariana Skarpnord, well, it didn't quite go her way. Only occasionally did she find her form, but a good week, all in all, for the Norwegian. Fellow Scandinavian, Nicole Brock-Larsen. She can putt as well as hit it a long way.
You know, she's just such a great player all round. I think we'll see a lot more of Nicole in the future.
Lovely approach work from Mariana Skarpnord. It was just her putter that went a little bit cold. Chinese Taipei, Kuo. She's got a top 10 finish, tied for 9th after a round of 71. On 15. This was Feng's approach. Set up a birdie for China's number 1, world number 5. Kang on 16, just missed the green with her tee shot. That was delicate.
Such a beautiful touch there from Kang.
Margarita Rigon, another European who enjoyed the course. She finished on 7 under and a tie for 4th. Good start for Rigon. Brock-Larsen set up a birdie at 17. Kang for birdie. That secured 2nd, and this was Feng on 17. That was a birdie on 17, and this was for a birdie on 18, and in it went. Final round of 70. She finished 17 under par. She won the tournament by 6 shots. It's her 4th win on the LET. My thanks to Alison Whittaker for joining us this week.